Hi, my name is Tom, and today we're going to be tying a traditional elk hair caddis. Obviously a great pattern throughout our country, but certainly here in the Northeast as well. Hatches most of the year, sometimes all year, and it's also a great dry dropper pattern. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to start my thread about 2 or 3 eye lengths behind the eye. Cinch it down, working the fly towards the thread towards the rear of the fly. Trim the tag end, and I want to end up with my thread just at the bend of the fly. First material that I'm going to tie in is actually a piece of small gold wire. This is going to be used to rib the fly and to secure the hackle. I'm going to add that in right there, working towards the front of the fly. And then the next thing I'm going to tie in is the actual hackle. I'm using a 1/16. In this case, it's ginger. Work my fly towards the rear, ending up at the bend of the fly. Okay, so now I'm going to work with some tan dubbing. I'm going to make myself a noodle here, probably about 2.5 inches long. And unlike some folks, I like my dubbing to be a little bit on the messy side. I just think it adds to the flotation of the fly, it adds to the realism of the fly, and I'm okay with a little bit of wayward dubbing. Once I have that noodle, I'm just going to start working my way to the front of the fly. I do put a little bit more of the dubbing in the rear because caddis do have that reverse taper that I kind of like. So I do kind of add some of that in. Let me put a little bit more dubbing here just to get us to the right point, which is good. Okay, next I'll be wrapping the hackle. Start with 1/2 wrap behind the dubbing, and then I'm going to jump right in using even spacing, probably about 4 turns. That looks pretty good to me, and then I will tie that off, trimming the excess. Okay, at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gold ribbing and I'm actually going to reverse wrap that. What I want to do is I would like for that to sit onto some of those hackle wraps, and this will make the fly a little bit more durable. Again, 4 looks about right. I will tie that off, and I will helicopter. Okay, at this point now we're ready for our elk hair dubbing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a small patch off of the hide here. And a very important step that some people may not recognize is we need to clean out that dubbing, right? We need, or the hackle. Sorry, I got messed up. We need to clean out that elk hair, right? There's a lot of underfur, there's a lot of things, broken fibers and things. So I'm just going to pull lightly with my fingers until I get out all that extra stuff. I can readjust my grip. I can pull out some more stuff, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so then I'm going to take that clump and I'm going to add it to my hackle stacker. Give that stacker a couple taps until I have that elk hair, those tips are all lined up. Again, I can go in and just clean out anything that I may need to clean. I'm just going to ballpark my length. That looks pretty good. Switch hands. I'm going to take 2 gathering wraps light, and then on the 3rd wrap I'm going to pull really hard, right, as much as the thread will allow, and then I'm going to give myself some good gathering and tight wraps there. At that point let that go. I'm going to then take the butt ends, I'm going to raise them up, and I'm going to put some turns in front of them to make them sit up a bit, because what I want to do is I'm going to make this look like a head when I trim it. Okay, pull that nice and tight, get my scissors in there, and boom, cut that, and that gives me the simulation of a head. Okay, everything looks good. Just going to pull out some thread, give a whip finish. And that is my elk wing caddis.